Alaikum and welcome to the weekly press briefing of the Foreign Office. Let me begin by sharing that the year 2021 marks the completion of 70 years of diplomatic relations between Pakistan and the People's Republic of China, established on 21st May 1951. In a joint ceremony held virtually, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi and State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi formally commenced the 70th anniversary celebrations. The year-long celebrations will include seminars, cultural exchanges, high-level visits, and people-to-people linkages. Speaking on the commencement ceremony, Foreign Minister Qureshi underscored that in the past 70 years, Pakistan-China relations has turned into an all-weather strategic cooperative partnership, which is an anchor for peace, stability and development in the region. Foreign Minister Wang Yi emphasized that due to commitment of generations of our leaders and our peoples, China-Pakistan friendship has grown into a towering tree with deep roots in the hearts of the two peoples. Foreign Minister Wang Yi also stated that Pakistan-China friendship has a time-honored history, and in the 7 decades the two countries have stood together in rain or shine and built an exceptional and ironclad friendship. The 14th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization is being held virtually today. The theme of the summit is Regional Economic Cooperation in the Aftermath of COVID-19. Prime Minister Imran Khan will open the summit in Pakistan's capacity as the chair of the 13th Summit held in Islamabad in March 2017. President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, will chair the 14th Summit. While sharing Pakistan's perspective on COVID-19 challenges, the Prime Minister will outline his vision for regional economic development in line with ECO's founding principles of promotion of trade and regional connectivity. Pakistan has been actively contributing towards advancement of the goals and objectives of ECO, including regional economic integration. The Defense Minister of the Republic of Iraq, Jama Enaz Sadoun, met Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi. The two ministers reaffirmed mutual desire of both the sides to further promote and solidify existing bilateral relations, particularly in the areas of defense and defense production. The two ministers also exchanged views on the regional situation. Foreign Minister Qureshi reiterated Pakistan's support for sovereignty, political unity, and territorial integrity of Iraq. Stressing the need for frequent high-level exchanges between the two countries, Foreign Minister Qureshi hoped that the visit of the Iraqi Defense Minister would help diversify and deepen collaboration between the two countries. As part of his regular high-level exchanges, Foreign Minister Qureshi had a telephone call with the Foreign Minister of Norway. Matters relating to bilateral, regional and international importance, including peace process in Afghanistan and the COVID-19 situation, were discussed. The two foreign ministers also exchanged views on enhancing cooperation in diverse sectors such as trade, investment and clean energy. The Foreign Minister of Norway particularly appreciated the role played by the Norwegians of Pakistan origin in the economic development of Norway. In line with the government's economic outreach initiative, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi chaired the 5th virtual meeting on economic diplomacy. Pakistan's envoys to France, Italy, Norway, Poland, Romania, and Russia participated in the meeting. Highlighting the shifting focus of the government from geostrategic to geoeconomics, the Foreign Minister underscored the centrality of economic diplomacy in the government's diplomatic outreach efforts. The Foreign Minister reviewed Pakistan's economic relations with the 6 European countries and emphasized the need to explore new opportunities to enhance bilateral trade and investment with these countries. As part of its regular outreach to the people of Nepal, the Embassy of Pakistan in Kathmandu organized a free medical camp in collaboration with Nepal-Pakistan Friendship and Cultural Association. At the camp, Pakistan-trained Nepali consultants provided free medical consultation, laboratory services, and medicines to over 400 Nepalese patients. On 27th February, the entire Pakistani nation remembered with great pride Pakistan's befitting response to India's irresponsible military adventure 2 years ago. India violated Pakistan's airspace and conducted airstrike inside Pakistan in complete violation of the United Nations Charter and international law on 26 February 2019. The valiant armed forces of Pakistan swiftly responded and displayed exemplary courage and professionalism. On 27 February 2019, Pakistan Air Force shot down 2 Indian fighter jets and captured an Indian pilot. The captured Indian pilot was returned as a gesture of peace by Pakistan. Pakistan once again not only resolutely safeguarded its territorial sovereignty but also acted with tremendous restraint and responsibility. Now coming to the situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, in complete disregard of its international legal and moral obligations, India has continuously subjected the innocent Kashmiri people to a brutal military siege since its illegal and unilateral actions of 5th August 2019. During the month of February alone, the Indian occupation forces martyred 6 more Kashmiris in the so-called cordon and search operations. Pakistan strongly condemns the unabated extrajudicial killings of innocent Kashmiris in fake encounters and staged cordon and search operations. Pakistan is deeply concerned over the continued incarceration of Kashmiri leaders, including Asiya Andrabi, Shabir Ahmad Shah, Yasin Malik, Masrat Alam Bhatt, Mohammad Ashraf Sehrai, and others. The Indian government has illegally arrested these Kashmiri leaders over false and made-up charges to muzzle the Kashmiri voices. The international community must urge the Indian government to immediately release incarcerated Kashmiri leadership and political prisoners, end restrictions on fundamental freedoms of the Kashmiri people, remove draconian laws such as Public Safety Act, Armed Forces Special Powers Act, and Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, and allow unhindered access to the UN and OIC observer missions, international human rights and humanitarian organizations, and global media to assess the ground situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. It is collective responsibility of the world community, including the United Nations, to work for peaceful and permanent resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with the relevant Security Council resolutions for durable peace and stability in South Asia. I thank you very much, and I'm happy to take any questions